Welcome once again to Basics with Babish Live. And again, I did not prepare an opening statement, but I thought I'd try and make it sound official. But now I'm going to walk on camera. What's up, folks? How we doing? Welcome to our second live stream on YouTube. We are making salads today, and I've heard that whiskey doesn't really go with salads, but try and stop me. What's up, folks? How we doing? Hey guys, show feet. I'm not going to do that. I'd love to, well, before we get started here, I'd love to introduce, for those of you who don't know, my dear brother in the other room, Sawyer Jacobs, who is the Roz to my Frasier. He's going to be screening your questions today and helping out from behind the scenes. Sawyer, give our folks a hello.
Hello everyone, thanks so much for having me. I've been watching the conversation a bit. Quick shout out to Pro Design and Tim Callahan from Rochester, New York. Happy to see the international collection of people here, but thought I'd reach out to them first and foremost.
We're always going to give preference to... We got salad lovers. What's up, guys?
Yeah,
welcome.
nice
You are
salad lovers, they're ready to go.
You are most welcome here if you're a salad lover, because you know what we're making today? We're making salads. And I'm sorry that we always give preference to people from Rochester and Western New York, but it's just one of the facts of life. We're just going to, we're always going to keep an eye out for those giving shout outs to our beloved home city. Thank you very much. We got a super chat here, Scrambled Egg 81. I hope that is a Frasier reference. Thank you very much for your super chat. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we're making tossed salads today, and if you guys would like, we could make tossed salad and scrambled eggs. I'm just throwing it out there. That could happen. Let's see where the night takes us, okay? So, what's going on with you guys? I'm too bassy. I'm sorry. That's the way I was made. I'm a bassy man. They're saying your mic's a little quiet, Jake. You might want to up your levels a little bit.
Yeah, I popped it up a little bit. Thank you, everybody.
All right. So no chicken salad tonight. That is a good idea. But probably going to be doing a sort of like a Sunday meal prep episode. And chicken salad plays a huge part in that because one of my favorite things to do is roast a whole chicken, eat the thighs for dinner with a salad, and then take the leftover breasts and make chicken salad out of them. It's a great way to just sort of get multiple meals out of like a $10, $11, $12 chicken. Thank you so much. We got more super chats here. Thank you, Yoav Anatien. Thank you, Epic Gaming Guru. Hey there, Babish. Show us how to toss that delicious salad. And hello. I am going to show you how to toss some delicious salad. I don't know why you're giggling. I don't know what's so funny about that. We got 10 Canadian dollars coming in from Sean Arbor. Thank you so much. Give me a recipe for that beard. What, for this old thing? This is my beard. And the recipe is, to have good luck of good beard genetics. And then to trim, shampoo, condition, oil, brush every day. I've said it probably every live stream, and I'll keep saying it. Just take good care of your beard, it'll take good care of you. We got another $10 coming in from John Barker. You should do a Studio Ghibli video. I totally agree. And keep an eye out for that in the future. It's a big dream of mine to eventually do the foods from the beginning of Spirited Away. The breakfast from Howl's Moving Castle is going to be a great excuse to make homemade bacon, something I've always wanted to do, something that I think would be a lot of fun. So please do keep an eye out for that. There will be Studio Ghibli films examined on binging in the near future. For now, we are looking at salads. Let me just close this out. And we got Aaron Gonzalez copy pasting, that's fun. Allie, thank you so much for super chats. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming and hanging out. If you got a question, shoot it my way. Sawyer will see it and he will relay it to me. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. Look at all this. 4,500 people coming out to watch salads. I'm very happy that you guys came out to check this out, because salad's not super exciting. $25 from Sophia Haniff. Thank you so much. Thanks for all you do. Wonderful content. Thank you so much. That is really kind, and that is an incredibly generous gift. Thank you very much for supporting the live stream. It's a lot of fun to bring it over here to YouTube. We were doing it on Twitch for a while. We're probably going to be trying to simultaneously broadcast on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Near future, for now, we're just sticking with YouTube, and it's been a lot of fun to hang out with you guys. Do more with Brad. Boston loves you. I'm heading to Boston next month, man. I don't know how much I can say about this, but one of my favorite, as you guys probably know, one of my favorite recipe resources is America's Test Kitchen. And we've been talking, we're going to try to get something going. They're based in Boston, so I'm heading out there soon, and we're going to try to do a collab with Dan Souza, who's the man. He's got a great show called What's Eating Dan. Please go check it out. It's so well produced. He's really knowledgeable. He's fun. We got Pro Design, $10. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Rochester, New York loves you, as well as my 8-year-old boy who watches you. That's so nice. Thank you so much. And please say hi to your son. That's really nice. I love that you guys watch the show together. And please say hi to Rochester, New York, because I miss the old hometown. Let's see. Jonah McPherson, sorry I can't tip more. I'm a broke college student at the Culinary Institute of America. First of all, you tipped so much, and if you're broke, please don't tip me if you're broke. But thank you so much. But I don't want you to be more broke because of me. But thank you so much, and that's so cool. You're studying at CIA in New York. I've been a subscriber for a long time. Love your love for food matches my own. Love you, man. Love you too, Jonah. Thank you so much. That's really generous. Unnecessary because you're a student, and I feel bad that you're giving me money, but thank you very much for supporting the stream, and congratulations on getting into CIA, and keep making great food and being more knowledgeable than I am, because I did not go to culinary school, so you're kicking my ass right now, knowledge-wise. Molly Damon, $5. Thank you so much. If you want to make any Star Wars themed dishes, myself and my husband run the channel Star Wars Explained, and we'd love to collab. We'll check that out. I have not seen that channel, and I would love for Star Wars to be explained to me. I mean, I love Star Wars. It doesn't need to be explained to me, but I would love to have a deeper knowledge of it, so I will definitely check that out. Oh, these are starting to come in faster than I can read them. Blaine Ivy, $10. Thank you so much. I've got to recreate the feast from Hook. Particularly, I'm guessing you're talking about those neon whipped cream pies that they throw at each other, which I think is just whipped cream and food coloring. But I'll check that out one day. Odd Vlogs, $5. Thank you so much. Favorite Avenger has got to be, just because it's my favorite MCU movie, is Winter Soldier. So my favorite Avenger is actually Captain America, because they made him so cool. Like, he was so deeply uncool, and they made him really cool. So he's got to be my favorite. Stefano Bardelis, $5. Can you be my culinary teacher? I am right now, and thank you for your support. And it's thanks to your generosity that I am able to try and be your long distance culinary teacher, unless you're around the corner or something. I don't know it. NG Slot, $5. Thank you so much, Babish. You are my first favorite channel. Thank you so much. That's really kind. Any chance of Broodwitch says this Halloween, says XX Little Joker XX. Maybe. I'm having a hard time sourcing the meats. It's 666 different kinds of meats. Very hard to source, very hard to find that in New York City even, but I'm working on it. Give me time. Laura Ward, eating garbage plate right now, way better than the salad. I completely agree. The garbage plate is a salad in and of itself, in that its base is of macaroni salad. So really, it qualifies as a salad. So you're eating the most delicious possible salad at the moment. Mackenzie Gorst, thank you very much for your generosity. Rice Evans, thank you. Greetings from Australia. Love your content. Would be cool to see you do something from Food Wars. I have done one thing. I did the pineapple fried rice, and I will continue to do more things from Food Wars, especially because I'm still working with Crunchyroll, and they're a great service, and they give me a great excuse to delve into the foods of anime. So definitely keep an eye out for more Food Wars. As always, $10. Thank you so much. The name is As Always. I'm not just saying that. Speaking of salads, I made your macaroni salad yesterday. It was awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was the basis for the garbage plate, Rochester, New York specialty, for those of you who are not aware. Ross Christie, £5. Thank you so much. Hydroshi, huge fan, Babish. Do you think you would ever do a video on keto diet foods? I'm looking for more ideas and would love to try a recipe by you. My man in the other room is keto, so yeah, definitely got to look out for you guys. Big respect for what you're doing, because that's a challenge to take good care of yourself, and yeah, definitely expect something like that in the future. Josh G, 10 pounds, thank you so much. British pounds, not weight. First of all, thank you so much for getting me into cooking. I got to recreate your cubanos last year and they were delicious. Would you ever accept anyone writing music for your channel? Absolutely, always interested in new music. Shoot an email to bingingwithbabish@gmail.com. Shoot us an email there and we'll take a look at it, man. Thank you. Madeline Curran, I'm also a poor college student. Thank you for the generosity, but if you're a poor college student, then hang on to it and shoot me a donation in the future when you've got a nice high-paying job from your awesome degree. Thank you very much for your generosity. I'm also a poor college student. Have you ever thought of making beer? Yes, I have, and I will be hopefully very soon, hoping to do an episode of Basics on beer. I'm going to try to partner with a brewery, but I'm not sure. Okay, I can't keep up with all of these. I'm way behind. Jake, if you can, wow, there's a lot of them. Guys, thank you so much for all your generosity. Everybody who's doing super chats right now, thank you. You're very, very kind. I'm sorry that I'm having a hard time reading all your questions. They're coming in way too fast. But Sawyer's going to relay some to me as I get cooking here. Jake, if you can start reading some of those out, I'll get started on the food. Yeah.
Absolutely. First and foremost, big shout out to the Mason family. Thanks so much for your generous, extremely generous donation.
Wow, thank you very much, Mason family.
He's interested in some anime episodes, which we can assure him are coming along, and is curious about what your favorite fried rice is.
Oh, my favorite fried rice is, I mean, you know, actually this place nearby called Blue Ribbon Sushi Izakaya does a squid ink fried rice with uni on top, and I'm such an uni freak. I'm such a sea urchin freak. It's like the butter of the ocean, and it's super delicious. I love it, and it's my favorite fancy fried rice. If not that, then any fried rice from a hibachi place, the kind where they're doing it on the hot top right in front of you, always tastes so much better for some reason than any other fried rice I've ever had. So that's got to be my favorite at the cheesy, what's it called, Benihana kind of places. That's really good fried rice. I don't care who you are. That's good fried rice. What else we got?
Just a quick thank you to Michael Urbanek for a very generous donation. Him and his kids are watching you right now. We really appreciate it.
Hey,
thanks so much.
And thank you guys for watching. Thanks. The whole family can tune in because I only curse on accident and very rarely. So I'll try to be nice since your kids are watching. I'll be extra reserved. Anyway,
I'm being told to turn my mic up. I'm really ripping this thing. So
are you hitting the red?
Let's try that now. Am I hitting the red? No, I'm not even hitting the red. But I'm up in the yellow.
Stay away from the red. But I mean, all right. Well, okay. They might be trolling. I don't know.
Maybe the mic is set up. It's omnidirectional right now. I'll look into it.
Okay. Sawyer's going to look into his mic. Sorry about any technical issues that we experienced. It's just the two of us here, just trying to make a nice high-quality live stream. We want to make the live stream version of the show, so that's why we hope to get the aesthetic the same and the sound quality the same. And it's
great,
a difficult.
Great. And just to cut in here, people are telling me that it's better now, and it seems as though if I just talk into it, straight into it, that helps. So I'll try that.
Well, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the way to do it. It's got the pop filter on there. You're good to go, guys. Right now, I'm drinking for anybody that's curious, I'm drinking a little bit of Basil Hayden's. I'm going to pour myself a bit more, and we're going to get to making some salad. What else we got by way of questions, Jake?
Yeah, I'll let you know, but the salad people are here for salad, so let's give them some salad, I think.
Okay, we're going to give you guys some salad. Sorry to make you wait. And thank you. I'm just going to say it one more time because I can't thank all of you individually because they're happening too fast, but thank you so much for everybody who's super chatting right now. Really appreciate your generosity, and we're going to try to get to your questions as I'm cooking here, but thank you so much. I'd love to say it to each and every one of you, but this is the best I can do. Thank you very much. And thank you everybody for tuning in for the live stream right now, especially for one that is so boring as salads. And I'm sorry to all the salad people out there. I am a salad person, but I still acknowledge that it is a boring food. But we're going to try to jazz it up a little bit. We're making one of my favorite salads because it barely qualifies as a salad, panzanella. That's where we're going to start today. And you know what we should do is work on our mise en place a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, as we answer some questions, I'm going to assemble all the ingredients for the salad right here so we can just have eyes on everything that we're going to need. And that's what you want to do before you get cooking almost anything. You want to get your mise en place, which I believe translates to everything in its place, or a place for everything, something like that. And it's just the sort of pre-organization of everything you need to make your meal. So let's get started with that. I have a few things out right now. I got my cherry tomatoes right here. I've got a handful of basil that I just picked from my my big ol' alien garden that I have over there. If you check it out on Instagram, I've got this thing called a Click and Grow wall farm. It looks like a bookcase that's full of plants. And I've got some basil grown over there, so this is freshly picked basil. Could not be fresher, and man, it smells really good. And it doesn't even have to be washed because it wasn't no pesticides. It wasn't near any dirt. It's just fresh out the alien bookcase. So anyway, that's right there. We got a shallot for our dressing. I got a red onion here. That's one of the bigger components of the salad. I'm gonna get some stuff out of the fridge here. I've got one cucumber. This guy is one of the other large components of said salad. I've got some mini ciabattas here. I couldn't source a full sizer, so I got some smaller ciabattas. I'm gonna cut those up and make some croutons out of them, and that's another one of the bases of this salad. What else we need? We need white wine vinegar. So I've got some. This isn't quite white wine. It's champagne vinegar, but it's very similar. It's pretty much the same thing. We need olive oil, cherry tomatoes, salt, pepper. I got my salt and pepper right here. I'll just put that right there so we know that it exists. Boom. You guys know how I like to lay things out sometimes at the beginning of episodes, so this is a great pleasure for me. We need mozzarella balls, which I cannot pronounce their name. Kiligin. I don't know. We got little mozzarella balls here, so those are, trying to fit these somewhere. Let's push these up. I want you to be able to see everything, have everything laid out. We need a lemon. And we need some Dijon mustard, so I'm going to grab a lemon out the fridge here. Got some giant lemons, so I'm probably only going to use like half of this when I actually make the dressing. There's a lemon. Again, let's try and make everything visible here. We need some mustard, and I have my favorite here, which call me a fancy pants, but I love Maille. I believe that's how you say that. It's a French Dijon mustard. This and their grain mustard. I love this stuff. I'm not sponsored. I'm just saying that I enjoy something. It's just really good mustard. And put that guy right there. And what else do we need? Garlic. We need 1 clove of garlic. Got that right here. Hey, I did that looking at the screen. That's kind of impressive to me. And that's it. I believe that's everything for. So we're gonna make a salad out of this. Isn't that nice to just see like everything all laid out? And so what we need to do is we need to break all these guys down. These are the vegetables, the main basis of the salad. What we need to do first is make our croutons, because those need to cool off before we can do anything with them. So I'm going to place all this stuff off to the side. And I'm going to break down this bread because we got to make some croutons. Oh, I'm going to turn on the oven too. Let me crank on the oven here. I'm putting that at about 400. It's very hard to say with this oven because it's kind of a wily, unpredictable thing. And I'm just going to get a big bowl and a bread knife. This is my preferred salad tossing bowl. You need a big old bowl so you can either do one of these guys, or you can get in there and just manipulate your elements. It's always nice to have a big bowl like this. It's a pain in the ass to clean, but it's very handy. So, all right, we got our ciabatta here. Whew, man, that oven gets really hot. I guess I'll cut it into strips this way first. So, make this bite size. You want to think about what do you want to see on the end of your fork. So we're going to make these, into nice fork-sized pieces here. There we go. That's nice. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want to see right there. That's exactly what's going to fit on my fork along with a cucumber and a tomato and a bit of basil. What do we got by way of super chat questions, Jake?
We've got a
Careful,
question.
don't peek over there.
Oh, sorry, I'm overcompensating. Miriana Knudsen asked for a substitute for time.
Substitute for time?
Which is not an existential question. THYME, a substitute for time.
Damn it, I was going to make that joke. Sawyer's a bit more clever than I am, so he's going to beat me to the really good philosophical humor. What to use as a substitute for time? It's hard to really substitute for time, especially it's going to really depend on the application. Time is a very unique flavor, and you can't really throw something else in its place. You really need to let's say it's a stew. Let's say it's a beef stew. You can substitute with damn near anything. I would go rosemary. I would go parsley and just bring those flavors in. But if we're talking about what else uses a lot of time, I'm blanking on things that use time right now. To me, rosemary, thyme, parsley, sometimes sage. Those are, I wouldn't say interchangeable, but they all play so nice together that if you don't have time for some reason, then you can potentially, substitute with rosemary or with, just maybe sage. Again, it really depends on what you're doing. What else we got?
We got another $25 donation from Sam Mason.
Oh,
very much appreciated. Thanks
Dude,
so much.
Sam, you're going nuts. That's crazy. Thank you.
He gave us some of his favorite salad toppings, which I think we can agree on some of these. Pickled beets, roasted garlic, dried tomatoes, olive oil, mozzarella balls. We're a big pickled family here, so anything pickled I'm up for.
This is a pickled household, yes. We love pickled things. I'm personally really, really partial to pickled radishes. I'm crazy about those. So just to denote what I'm doing, I'm just hitting this chopped up ciabatta with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and then we're going to toast these into nice croutons. But we want as much as possible, even in salads, you want to try to season separate elements. We can season the hell out of the salad itself all we like, but if then we have bland croutons in there with no flavor, then they're going to stand out, and you're going to need to accompany every bite with a crouton. You're going to want to make sure that there's other things that have salt and that have pepper. So we want these to be well seasoned, and also we want a fair amount of oil. These are really well coated in oil because we want that nice deep brown that we're only going to get if we get them really nicely evenly coated in oil. So here we go, and I'm just going to grab a baking sheet quick. There we go. I'm fresh out of parchment paper. This is a first for old Babby. We're spreading these out on a not parchment paper lined baking sheet, and I've got my oven preheating to 400. As soon as it gets up around that temperature, I'm going to toast these guys for, I don't know, maybe 5-6 minutes until they're nice and golden, trying to make sure that they're not overlapping. That's going to prevent them from getting nice and crisp. We want them crisp, but not too crisp, because you want your fork to be able to pierce them when you're getting a bite of salad. Otherwise, how annoying are croutons that you can't get your fork into? That's not a double entendre, I swear. It's very hard to eat a salad when you got really crunchy croutons, because you try to stab it with the fork and it just breaks in half. And this is it's nice to have a nice soft chew to the center of your bread. All right, so there we go. Got all these laid out. Oven's preheating. I'm going to set this aside. We're not even washing this out because the dressing for the salad has oil in it, so who cares? Now what we can do is we can grab my shiny new knife that I'm crazy about. I just got this guy 2 weeks ago when we were in California. It is deadly sharp, and I'm hoping that I don't severely injure myself on national, I was about to say national television, national YouTubery. I'm scarring up my table real good here with these knives. If you guys watched the recent kitchen care episode, obviously we're not doing a live stream of that because that's super boring, but to sort of combat these scars that you end up with on wooden cutting surfaces, hit this guy with some mineral oil and or beeswax to preserve and seal your wood cutting surfaces. I'm seeing some super chats here. Geez, Sam Mason, thank you again. And Philip Martin is the latest. Philippe Martin. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs. I mentioned this before. We might do that if we're feeling frisky, if we're feeling up for it. I'm gonna give this guy a little rinse real quick, just because I can feel a little grit on there. Sometimes when you get a cucumber, they got that little bit of grit on the outside from being grown in nice fresh soil. There we go. Lose this. And I'm gonna do this guy in half like that, and then cut him into bite-sized pieces like that. You don't want like a huge chunk of cucumber. You want it to be part of your bite, the rest of the salad. Just think about, what would I like to see on my fork? So I'm trying to go for that. I don't think I'm gonna have enough cucumber, so forgive me for the lack of cucumber in this salad. But gotta roll with the punches sometimes. There we go, got our cuke. And I'm going to maybe do half of this red onion. I love a lot of red onion in my salad, but you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to go crazy. I'm just gonna. Now I've covered this on past live streams, and this is no exception. A great way to learn how to chop an onion, if you're worried about nicking your fingers or cutting off a finger, I don't know, is to have your onion like this, cut it in half from the root to the tip. I don't know what they're called. You're cutting it in half lengthwise, not widthwise. So you've got the rings going like this. And then we're going to peel back the topmost layers, the dry, sort of outer layers that you're going to throw away anyway. And we're going to sort of make a handle out of that. So this guy's giving me a little bit of trouble right now. Just going to pull this back. Here we go. Come on, everybody's watching. There we go. Come on. And what we get is a little makeshift handle. See? You can hang on to this, and you can safely, boop, boop, boop. I got to cut these a little bit bigger. Whoops. Cut that a little small. It's okay. It's okay. I just like a lot of red onions, so I like nice big pieces. What else we got going on over there, Jake?
Well, I'll tell you what we got, buddy. We got a very generous Sophia.
Sophia, thank you.
$75.
Oh my God, Sophia, thank you so much.
Obscene. Thank you so much. She has a question.
Yeah.
Best breads for homemade croutons. Also, I've heard that bread is supposed to be stale. Is that true?
Not necessarily. This bread is fresh as a daisy, and I personally, for croutons, I like ciabatta. This is a ciabatta. It's got a nice light, airy texture here. I'll change the focus of the camera here so we can get a nice close-up. Let's get a real, there we go, right there. So you can see it's got a nice airy texture. It's very, stretchy and glutinous. It's a chewy bread, and once we toast it, we're gonna have a nice crisp exterior, and we're gonna have hopefully still a light, chewy, soft interior, which is gonna make it easier to eat, and it's going to make, just for a great crouton. If you want to make, the kind of croutons that you get in a bag or whatever at the grocery store, if you want to get those kinds of flavors going, hit this with some garlic powder, some onion powder, some oregano, just like your basic Italian seasonings, and that's going to go with almost any salad. My oven is preheated now, so I'm going to throw these in, And let's keep an eye on these because I have a track record of burning my croutons. Very easy to do that. So I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna set a timer because that's interrupting. Wow, I'm seeing John Riddle, $100. Thank you so much. That is incredibly generous. Hey, Babish, just tuning in. Been looking forward to the stream. Looking forward to seeing you in action, dude. I can't thank you enough. That is an unbelievable, unbelievably generous contribution to the stream. Really appreciate it. All you guys, whether you're giving $1 or $100, I cannot express enough like how much I appreciate you supporting the live stream, tuning in, watching, and supporting in any way that you can, be it with your presence or with your contributions. And that's an incredibly generous one. Thank you so much. Cannot thank you enough. And along with Sophia Hanif and Sam Mason and Michael Urbanik, like, you guys are so kind. And Odd Vlogs, I know this is not your first contribution, so thank you so much. What meal has the best food? Let's see. What meal has the best food? I mean, that's tricky. I think dinner, personally. I'm a dinner guy. And Michael Urbanik, my boys, Gavin and Nicholas, would love for a shout out. They absolutely love your channel. Gavin asked if you have a recipe for mozzarella sticks. Kids. Michael Urbanik, to your boys, Gavin and Nicholas, thank you guys so much for watching. I do have a recipe for mozzarella sticks, and as soon as I find a good reason to put it in the show, I will be sharing it. I wouldn't say it's anything special. Like, mozzarella sticks, even in their most basic and unsophisticated form, are awesome. So why mess with a good thing? And that is to just take, string cheese and double batter it. I prefer a wet batter, and I like to start with flour to help the batter adhere to the cheese. So hit it with flour, let the flour stick all over the cheese, and dip it in the wet batter and deep fry. And the wet batter should be full of pepper and garlic and all that good stuff to just get that classic sort of pizzeria flavor going on. Gavin and Nicholas, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for showing your dad the show, or vice versa. I don't know who showed who, but thank you guys for joining and thank you for watching. And then we got Epic Gaming Guru. What kind of condiments go great with this salad? Grilled cheese, grated cheese, mayo, olive oil. I mean, we're going to make a very simple dressing that is it's a universal dressing. You can use it on almost any salad. It's a classic emulsification of olive oil, lemon juice, mustard, salt, pepper. That's it. And it goes with almost anything, and it goes especially well with this. That's the condiment that I would recommend. Cheese, we're going to be putting mozzarella in this. We're going to be putting these little mozzarella balls in there. So you don't need any other cheese elements. That's enough cheese, I think. But I'm not the boss of your salad. You can do what you like with your salad. You can toss it however you like. That's what I would recommend. We got one more new one here, as long as I'm waiting on these croutons. Odd Vlogs. I like breakfast, but with food, there is no wrong unless it's liver. Hey, hang on. There's some great liver out there. I admit, I'm not going to come out and just say, like, I love liver and onions, because I don't. Chicken liver, moose, duck liver, goose liver, I mean, you can't beat it. Sorry, the door is making a weird noise. Okay, I'm smelling warm bread. That is what I'm smelling right now, so I'm going to grab an UV glove, check on these guys, maybe give them a little tossy toss, as my man Brad Leone would say. So, they're smelling good, but they are not toasted yet. No, sir. We need them firmer. They're firming up, but we need a crispy exterior, soft interior, and I'd like to see some better browning. My oven's at about 425 right now. This oven's goofy though. This oven's giving me some real challenges because it's when it heats up, the door stays open, which is driving me bonkers. If anybody knows how to repair that on a Viking commercial range, hit me up, because I need you to come out here and fix it. I'm kidding. All right. Oh, we gotta have these tomatoes. That's what we gotta do. Am I missing anything, Jake? What's going on over there?
No, so far so good. I've been waiting to ask you a question from Jeffrey Langdon.
Jeffrey
What's
Langdon,
your
hit me up.
favorite Rochester restaurant?
Oh my goodness. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I haven't spent that much time. I go back there to visit my family that lives there, but I haven't spent enough time recently to have seen any of the like new additions to the culinary scene. Like the most recent one, the newest restaurant I think I've dined at has been like Roux, R-O-U-X, which I believe opened like 6 years ago. And I've heard that there have been some great additions to the culinary scene. My current favorite is, gee whiz, it's got to be Dinosaur, which we have a couple down here in New York, so I don't miss it that bad, and I get to go see it. I also love Sticky Lips, not Sticky Lips, they just closed, but I rest in peace, Sticky Lips. Thank you for being part of our lives. I meant to say Country Sweet. They make amazing wings that taste incredibly unique. They're very fruity and acidic. Jake, what's your favorite restaurant in Rochester? You spent less time there than I have because your family moved to Boston.
I think Country Sweet is a great answer. Can't go wrong with the Plum Garden.
Oh, the Plum Garden in Pittsford Plaza, yes.
Can't forget about Mama San's.
Mama San's.
You remember Mama San's. That's Brother Weese's favorite restaurant. Shout out to the great Brother Weeze.
Brother Weeze, if you're watching, thanks for watching. Actually, I'm sorry. There's a restaurant that I went to recently called the Revelry, not the Revel, just Revelry. And wow, that place is really genuinely good. It can go toe to toe with some of the better restaurants in New York City. I really enjoyed my dining experience there. Shout out to anybody who knows Revelry in New York. Yeah, they make an amazing meal. And there's another place that one of our friends that we graduated from high school with was the executive chef when they were designing their menu. I won't say her name because I don't know if she wants her name said like that. But it's called a Village Bakery, and they make a mean breakfast. You're talking about like in breakfast food, weird gaming or whatever your name was, Odd Vlogs. They make this thing with cheddar sausage and Gruyere cheese on a biscuit with egg, soft scrambled egg. It is nuts, and it is just like the best breakfast I've had in Rochester, and one of the best breakfasts I've had ever. It's really great. I'm smelling some real hot bread here. Let's take a look. They're looking good. I want them a little bit more golden. They're almost there. It smells really good though. It smells like freaking Pizza Hut in here because we got oil soaked in, bread soaked in oil, and that's essentially what Pizza Hut is. So just preemptively, first off, I'm going to get this off the stove because it's nice and hot now. But you can see that I've got like pretty much equal amounts of, like visually equal amounts of each of these elements. See that? Maybe a little bit lower on the onions because they're so pungent. Oops, even less now because I just dropped some. But you can see, like, this is going to be a visually appealing mix once we get it in here. Am I missing any elements of the mozzarella balls here? So we want also an equal amount, I'd say, to this of mozzarella balls. Cligani. Can somebody tell me how to pronounce that properly? I honestly don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to dry these off a little bit. I don't want that extra mozzarella water messing with blowing up my spot. So I'm just going to, when I take these out, I'm just going to roll them around on some paper towels a little bit, and that'll take care of business. I'm trying to match like how many tomatoes I made there. I definitely made way too many croutons, but if we're going to make Caesar later, we're going to need all those croutons. So hopefully that will not have been a gaffe on my part. There we go. Got our nice dry mozzarella balls. And I'm probably, I'm chopping up too much here because I'm pretty sure I'm going to eat some. Because these are pretty irresistible little nuggets. And you'll notice that, most of these are about the same size. Cucumbers are a little bit bigger than everybody else, but you could fit all these elements on one forkful, one mouth fork full, and you know that's the end game. That's where we're trying to get. Oh, I love this knife so much. I know I'm cutting cheese and I could be doing this with a butter knife, but like, you can just feel how sharp a knife is sometimes, and scares the shit out of you. I'm sorry, I have kids watching. It scares the heck out of you. Whoops. Sorry, what were their names? It was a J and a G, I believe. Gavin and, shoot, I lost it. But thank you guys for watching. Sorry, I just swore. That's a bad word. Don't say that. And there we go. Look at that. See, that's like, after I eat one, that's pretty much equal amounts of the mozzarella element. See that? Perfect. And now we can start getting ready for the dressing. How about that? Oh, you know what? I gotta be careful. Don't want to burn my bread. I said I was gonna do it, and I haven't. These are perfectly toasted. This is really hot, so I'm gonna go hold it for a second. Look at that, though. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And they are very firm. I can feel that there's still a soft center in there, but once we hit them with the dressing, they're going to be a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more pliable. So I've taken them out of the oven. I'm going to turn off the oven because I don't think there's anything else I have to toast. And then for dressing, we got to really finely chop this shallot. I'm probably just going to use half the shallot, but it's the same procedure whether we're doing a big old onion or we're just doing a tiny shallot. We're slicing it in half, slicing off the end. We are pulling off the outermost tough layer until we get a nice, nice soft shallot underneath. And then we are placing cuts down the length of the object. This time very close to one another because this is a dressing. We want this to be part of the emulsion, and to do that, we want it to be suspended in the emulsion. So to do that, we need very, very small pieces. So I'm cutting across, and then there we go. And now I'm just going to make tiniest little slices that I possibly can. And it's very slippery, and I don't want to slice my finger off on live. Normally I'd go a little faster, but we're live right now, and I cannot afford a grievous injury on the internet with everybody watching. I can do that when the camera's, rolling in private. That way, if it's funny, I can use it. If it's horrible and gruesome, then I won't. All right, so for the dressing, I'm gonna grab a little bowl. And I'm just gonna dump this shallot in there. There we go. It's probably best to make your emulsion before adding the shallot, but whatever, it's fine. So I got my shallot in there. I need a clove of garlic grated. So I'm going to take this garlic and I'm going to give it a little boop, and I'm going to peel it. And I'm trying to keep it whole just because I'm going to grate it, and if I really smash it, then it's going to be a pain. So that was easy enough. I just pressed it a little bit so as not to smash it, but just to get that skin off. So now I need a microplane grater, like so. And yeah, we're just gonna easy peasy. And I like to grate the garlic in there because then the flavor just becomes really intense, and it's also these pieces that are so small that you could chop this garlic up really finely, but this just makes it instantly into a paste that just like perfectly incorporates into a sauce or a dressing. See that? We just got like a lump of garlic. I mean, I'm pure Brad Leone when it comes to eating raw garlic. I know that there is I believe that there's an E. coli concern with eating raw garlic, I think. So please do that at your own risk. But it's really good. So do what you want. All right, so we got some olive oil here, and yeah, I'm just going to toss in some olive oil. Generally, I don't think I've ever measured anything for a dressing. The only thing you want to do is not have too little dressing. That's the only problem you can really run into. But what I'm really going for here There's a few tablespoons olive oil to, half a shallot to 1 clove of garlic to, I'm guessing, half of this lemon. We want about the same amount of lemon as we have oil. I'll take a break from talking for a second. Jake, is there anything I need to catch up on there in the comments?
The people they miss you, yeah, but you got to get the instructions out. This is an instructional show, so I think that was an informative moment there. We're almost ready to go with mixing all these things together. As for questions, I got a question. Can I use canned black beans for pollo alla plancha?
Absolutely, yes, you can. I would, in fact, recommend that wholeheartedly. I can't think of a scenario in which canned black beans are better than dried. Somebody correct me. Maybe I just don't know my beans that well. I was just saying to my friend the other day that I'm not even a huge fan of beans. I know that they're an inexpensive and tasty and really amazing food stuff, but personally, I'm not crazy about them. But I can't imagine that there's gonna be anybody in the world that's gonna be able to taste the difference between dried beans that you've rehydrated overnight and boiled slowly, and the stuff that comes out of a can. Like, canned black beans are perfectly fine. And every time I've made pollo alla plancha since that episode, I've used canned black beans. There's so much great flavor in there between the bacon and the onion and all the other things you're putting in there. You're not going to notice if you weren't legit with the beans. I'm just getting a whisk out of the, pardon my, it's disappearing for a second. I'm just getting a whisk out of the dishwasher because I got some freshly washed dishes over there. This is my smallest whisk that isn't a tiny whisk, and I would love to use tiny whisk. I know you guys are big fans in making this dressing, but it's not big enough to really get the air in there and create an emulsion. We need a bit more whisk for that. I'm going to hit this dressing with some salt and pepper. Look at your ingredients, look at your croutons and all this stuff here, and think like, if this were all in a bowl and I were just salting it, how much would I need? And just go with that. And it's better to underseason than overseason, obviously, because you can't go back when you overseason. So shoot conservatively and correct as necessary. The last thing we need for this is a bit of mustard, and I'm just going to grab. Now the mustard is kind of like cheating with making a dressing emulsion because it's so thick that it just kind of like does the work for you. I'm gonna add maybe a tablespoon's worth to this. I don't want it to be mustardy. I just want it to be an element in the dressing. And making an emulsion out of vinegar or olive oil or lemon juice and olive oil, it takes a little work here. But thanks to the mustard, this is going to emulsify almost immediately. And it already is. See that? It's a dressing. And it's just the most simple and beautiful dressing made from things you always got in the house, hopefully. I understand if you don't always have lemons in the house, you could use, lazy lemon juice if you wanted. But, fresh lemon juice is distinctively, I can't tell you why, because I'm not large enough of mind, but fresh lemon juice is simply better than canned lemon juice. In my mind, it has higher acidity. It's great. Sorry for all the gross mouth noises. Okay, so now let's grab a bowl and let's start getting these guys in here. There we go. Everybody in. Everybody into the hot tub. There we go. We got all of our elements in here. I'm going to add the basil at this stage. You could add it to the dressing if you wanted, but I don't know why I'm not doing that actually. But I guess because I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna julienne it. I'm gonna cut it in strips. If you were mincing it, you could add it to the dressing, but strips might like knot together and end up as a ball of basil in your dressing. So I prefer to, I'm julienning it and then just giving it a little chop, just to make sure it's all in bite-sized pieces. There we go. Get all that in there. It's not much basil. You should probably use twice the basil that I'm using. I'm low on basil because I made what's called pesto last week, and that kind of tapped me out on basil a little bit. And just in case this is still hot, I'm gonna throw on my glove. We want these to be cooled off though, and these are cool. Like it's still a little warm. I'm gonna let those sit for just like a minute. We can answer some questions while we're letting those cool off. Just because you add warm croutons to this, the cheese is going to soften up and melt, and it's not going to have the nice light crisp kind of textures that we're looking for. So yeah, make sure your croutons are totally cooled off. While we are waiting, I will clean off the table, and any pressing questions. I'm seeing some more very generous donations. Odd Vlogs, another $100 donation. I cannot thank you enough. That's nuts, and thank you so much. Can we see the view out of the closest window? I haven't been to New York in so long, it makes me feel homesick, even though I've never lived there. Although if the camera stays put, that's fine too, man. I would honestly show you, but we've got these cameras so wired in to this apartment. Like there's 3 wires going in and out of each of these cameras. They are plugged into these, which this is probably gonna blow your mind a little bit when I don't even know if I can do this. They're plugged into these monitors, which I would love to show you the monitor, but there's too many cables going on. So I can see myself, and then there's an HDMI going into the other room where Sawyer is, and he's controlling the camera feed. I'd love to show you, but like, this place is hardwired. What I can try and do is like tweet a photo or something. I do have a lovely view here. I love this apartment. I've been very lucky and very blessed to have you guys supporting me and helping build up the show. And as a result, I've got an apartment that is amazing for both making the show and for living in. It is mostly for making the show. I would say maybe 80% of the square footage in this apartment goes towards content creation. But it also happens to have a pretty sick view. I didn't build this kitchen, for anybody that's curious. This kitchen came like this. Whoever owned this apartment before me custom built this place, and unknowingly they custom built it for me because it is perfect for making this show. This kitchen's very wide, and there's a lot of space that way, which we need because we got all the cameras and the lights. Everything's got to go over there. And in my last apartment, that way was a wall and the fridge, and so it was just in the middle of everything. And luckily, I've probably got like maybe 10 feet of room past this table, so there's plenty of room for the lights and the cameras and monitors and stands and all the stuff that goes into making this show work. But thank you again so much for your donation. I'm sorry I can't fulfill the request right now. I wish I could, because it is a cool view and I'd love to show it to you. If you want to see a close approximation of the view, check out the 3 million subscriber episode. There's a segment where I'm up on the roof, and that is my roof, and that is the view from my roof, and it's pretty spectacular, and I'm very thankful to have something like that. It's really great. So Odd Vlogs, thank you. Zachariah Partridge, 50 Australian dollars, which I think is close to US dollars. So again, thank you. That's incredibly generous. He says, thank you for getting me interested in cooking. That's very touching. I'm very happy that I could play a role in that. That is really lovely to hear, and I'm very happy that you're interested in cooking, and any role I could have played in that is very meaningful to me. So thank you very much for both your generosity and for the kind words. That's really kind. John Riddle, $5, thank you so much. What has been your favorite episode to film? Great stream, by the way, thank you. Favorite episode to film, what is that noise? There's a dripping noise, and it's freaking me out. I think I turned the AC down too far and it's dripping or something. My favorite episode to film has been, oh geez. I mean, it probably has to be Timpano. It was one of my, I think it was the second episode? Second episode I ever made. Sawyer was there for that one. I put in, I put in 14 hours of active work making that timpano, filming it and making it. I stayed up all night. I was working a full-time job at the time, and I stayed up all night making all the elements, the meatballs and the pasta and the everything that went in there. And then the next night I had Sawyer over. I had some friends over from work, and we just dug into the thing, and it was just magic. Sawyer and his now wife were there. What'd you think, man?
That was a really special thing. It was quite a presentation, and it's got me hungry for another one.
Well,
not even. Really,
I don't know if I'm ever going to make that again.
An episode, yeah.
Maybe I will make that again. Maybe for some milestone, I would love to make that again because it was very special. It's not like mixing those flavors together makes something magic. The flavors are very good, but they're nothing crazy or spectacular. They're just good. But what makes it special is the presentation, obviously, and you don't make that for yourself or for your family. You make that for your friends. You make that for a party, and people's reaction to it and people's appreciation of it is what makes it so special. It makes all your hard work really worth it. And seeing, people's reaction to it, hearing, them clapping when I opened it up and it was just right. It was really something special and something that I'm going to remember for a very long time. And that makes me sound like I'm going to forget it. It's something I'm never going to forget. So thank you so much for sharing that with me, Jake, and everybody else who was there. Just a Kid, $5. Thank you. Cooking with ASMR. Let's make it happen. That's not a bad idea. I mean, ASMR is hot right now. Scrambled Egg 81, I remember you from before. Thank you for your generous contributions tonight. What's the whiskey of choice tonight? I've been drinking Basil Hayden's, which is a favorite bourbon. It's reasonably priced. I think it retails for $40 a bottle. It's James Bond's bourbon of choice, according to one Ian Fleming novel. Do with that information what you like. Jake, would you like one of these, or are you good?
Yeah, I'll take one. Why not?
All right, yeah, let me pour you one up here. Mustn't drink alone. I hope you guys are having one with me, if you're of age and, are able to partake. Would you like rocks, or are you going neat?
I'd do a rock or two, please.
I'm sorry I poured it, so now I'm going to be a bumbling fool. A couple rocks. There we go. It's ready when you'd like to come in. So Jake's going to come in and grab his whiskey, and thank you very much for what you're doing to make the show happen, bud. It's my man.
Yo!
Cheers.
Cheers.
Here's to a healthier stream, sort of.
A healthy, fun-loving stream. Just a bunch of salad friends.
A good Christian stream.
Yeah.
That's a weird inside joke, the sort I have. We won't go into that. So it's time, especially now that I just said a good Christian stream. It's time to toss our salad. Who's ready to toss some salad with old Babby? I'm gonna throw in maybe half of these, because again, I want about as many croutons in there as there are tomatoes, or as there are mozzarella balls. I want equal proportions of everything. So you can see that there. As I give this a toss, you see it's pretty well proportioned, I think. Yeah, that looks looking good. Maybe a little heavy on the tomatoes, but look at that. That looks nice. That looks like a panzanella salad. And then for dressing salad, obviously, be conservative. You don't want to overdress. I think I'm not going to use all this. I'm probably use about that much. You don't want to underdress either, though. I'll tell you that much. I learned that the hard way. What? There we go. That's looking nice. I hope you guys are getting that crunch in the mic. Keith C, $5. Thank you very much. Last stream you mentioned a favorite dish to cook. How about a basics episode dedicated to food you love? Or the food fight from Hook? That's the second time somebody's asked for the food from the food fight and Hook. Just gonna use the rest. Oh, almost. Sorry. I inhaled that crouton a little bit, and it's going straight to my head. God. Okay. Now. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Okay. Okay, we got this. We got this, Andy. So as I showed on the live stream, I've been all about plating up salads on big, wide plates. Because, look at that. It really showcases everything that's in the salad. Ooh, that happens sometimes. But it really showcases everything in the salad and just, it puts everything on display really nicely. God damn it. I'm sorry if that's really loud, folks. Whew. Okay. But, I mean, okay. I'm gonna take a 1 minute break, folks. I'm just gonna drink some water and get whatever crouton dust out of my throat. We're gonna take a 1 minute break. Jake, can you throw up the be right back card? Hey folks, I'm alive. Rumors of my death have been highly exaggerated. That was a close one though. I inhaled that crouton, a big piece of that crouton, went straight in my lungs. There still might be an occasional cough here and there, but my suffering has paid off because we got ourselves a really beautiful salad here. It hardly qualifies as a salad because it's loaded with cheese and bread, but there are vegetables in there. There's no roughage, but it satisfies the requirements of being a salad. That dressing is just so nice and bright, and it's it's gonna kick the hell out of anything you ever got in a bottle. Homemade salad dressing is so crazily better. And if you're scared, pardon me, if you're scared of making an emulsion, if that sounds too stressful, put it in a bottle, in a something like this, or in darn it, sorry. Whew. Maybe I am dying. Put it in a bottle and give it a good shake, and that's going to emulsify it for you. All the moving action is going to introduce tiny little air bubbles into the oil and acid, be it vinegar or lemon juice mixture, and you're going to get a nice thick, creamy dressing. It's a magical thing that I wish that all of you get to experience. See, there should be like twice as much basil in here. I just got the tiniest little bite of basil on that on that piece of cucumber, and it's just delightful. Let me grab a fork here. I'm gonna have a couple bites here, and then I'll bring it into the other room where Jake can enjoy it, because we have not had dinner. It's eat what you kill here at binging with at Basics with Babish. See that I have almost every element. Let's see, my fork went in there without breaking the crouton. See that? Let's focus. Whoop. Wrong way. Come on, Andy, you went to film school. See that? Fork went right through that crouton without breaking it. That's a good crouton right there. And you can see I've got some onion, I've got some cheese, I've got tomato, crouton, and cucumber. I've got every element on this one fork. Focus back. Come on, ready, tighty, lefty, loosey. There we go. And now that my throat has cleared up, I hope, I'm going to attempt to eat a bite of this against doctor's orders. Here we go. Sorry for all the chewing noises. Does anybody ever wonder if, like, whenever I chew or I shave my head with a, rotary razor with an electric razor, I always feel like it's the loudest thing in the world, but it's all happening in your head. Nobody else can hear it. So I wonder if that was very loud, as loud for you as it was for me. That is really, really tasty. It's light and fresh, but it's also got, these savory, unctuous elements to it, the bread and the cheese. It's a great salad. It would be a welcome side to any meal. It'd be a welcome appetizer. I wouldn't say, main course, but throw some grilled chicken on here. God damn it. Throw some grilled chicken on here. You got yourself a main course, or some grilled tofu, or whatever you want, whatever floats your boat. So I'm gonna have the rest of this for dinner later on. For now, I'm gonna bring it into the other room where, if Jake would like some, he can enjoy it. Okay, all right, well, I already left. Oh, whatever. Come on over. That's fine. Come on over. Whew.
Get a glass of water.
Oh, it's good thinking. Glass of water time. Here, I'm gonna be twee and use a mason jar, like this is a barn wedding or something. I can't really talk trash about that. Oh, okay. Sorry for the interruption, folks.
All right, so can I take this away?
Yeah, thank you. See how your fork is going into those croutons without breaking them, but they're still really crisp.
Crunchy, but also bread chewy. It's all you want.
That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me, man. Thank you, Jake. Save me some. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. I'm breathing again, sort of. I say now, let's take a quick break to answer any questions y'all have. If you got any questions, shoot them to me now. I'm going to take a 5-minute break before I make the Iceberg Wedge salad, which is next up on the to-do list. Jake, sorry, can you listen?
I got some questions for you.
All right, hit me. Okay, Jake's got to turn his mic on. And just for the uninitiated, I call him Jake because it's a reference to his last name's not Jake, but it's close, and that's why I call him that. So it's a little nickname. His real name is Sawyer. I just don't want to get anybody confused.
Delicious bread salad, by the way. Wow. Whew.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
All right, I have a couple questions lined up. You ready to roll?
Hit me.
Okay, Babby, what's your opinion on carbon steel pans? How do they compare to cast iron in your experience?
Carbon steel requires a little bit more maintenance than cast. I mean, they both require the same amount of maintenance. Carbon steel requires that you season your own pan. Usually cast iron comes pre-seasoned, and seasoning your own pan can be challenging, but it's a fun challenge for anybody who's up for it. And it's obviously, it's not as heavy as cast iron. The heaviness and the the density of the iron in cast iron is what helps it really retain and distribute heat. But carbon steel you can get it so hot, and it's great for searing things, searing steaks, doing stir fries. Carbon steel wok, I wouldn't go any other way. I was, a friend of mine recently wanted to use a non-stick wok, and I was like, what? Because you need to get woks ripping hot to do a proper stir fry. And I wish I had a chair. That's next time. They're good. They're a lot of fun, and if you're up for the challenge of maintaining them and building up your own seasoning, I highly recommend them. What's next?
Next, I'm curious about this. What's your opinion on salt blocks? I've seen you use them, but is it a go-to? Is it a must-have?
I would not say it's a must-have or go-to. They're interesting because you can get them freezing cold, you can get them ripping hot, you can cook things on them, you can chill things on them. They're very nice for presentation. I served some smoked salmon for not a Hanukkah, yeah, it was a Hanukkah meal. And I served some smoked salmon on there, added a little bit of saltiness to it. It does impart salt on whatever you're serving on it, or cooking on it especially. But I feel like it's mostly for show. I've never been like, oh, thank goodness I had my salt block. That thought's never passed through my mind. It's for show. It's very showy. It's very cool to show up to a friend's house and for them to make you something with a salt block. I was given, and they last forever. I was given one as a gift for my brother 6-7 years ago. I still have it, and I still use it. And they do last a long time. So, it's a great gift. People might give it a shot, try using it. They might only use it once a year, but it's an interesting and fun sort of thing to try out culinarily. What's next?
Okay, next, this is a great question. William Britton, when washing your face, how high up do you go?
That's really funny. The reason that's so funny to me is because, no shit, I ask myself that question every morning. I swear. Like, when I'm washing my face, I feel like my hairline, and I'm like, why don't I just do the whole thing? And, I shampoo up here. Like, I'll shampoo my beard, and then I'll put a little bit up on the dome so it gets washed. But then I'm like, why don't I, when does my face stop? And when does my head start? So really, I use the hairline as a guide. I can feel the roughness where my hairline begins. It's up here now. It's graduated north over the past few years, but that's the rules that I live by. That I live my life by. That's a great question. Thank you.
All right, great. I only have two more. I'll give you a business question and then just a fun question. The business question is: will you be making any more food from video games?
Yes, I will. In the very near future, in fact, people have been suggesting something from a game that I've been playing, which is the new Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4. And Aunt May's wheat cakes and some chicken dumplings and one other thing that I can't remember, but I think there are 3 recipes that show up in that game. And Aunt May's wheat cakes are apparently a whole meme amongst the comic book community, so I think that's probably the way to go. They sound like whole wheat or buckwheat pancakes, so not too exciting, which is why I might do all 3. But yeah, that's good. That's the next up on my list. There's always things to do from Skyrim is coming up on its anniversary, I believe. I can't remember how many years, but maybe 10 years? Oh my God, that makes me feel old if it's 10 years. I hope it's not 10 years. But Skyrim's coming up on its anniversary, so sweet rolls, boiled cream treats, all the things that you wonder what they are, and things that I hope that I can recreate one day. Zelda, Breath of the Wild. There's always things to do from there. The German, no, Dutch Black Forest cake, I believe it's called, that is featured in Portal. The cake is a lie, but there is a recipe for it in the game. So that's something I've been looking at as well. Lots of video game foods to do in the near future, and I will be doing them, absolutely.
Okay, and
You
now
got one
for
more?
the pleasure question. What was your favorite West Wing episode?
That is a pleasure question. I don't mean to be. I feel like this is going to be everybody's answer, but the season 1 finale into the first 2 episodes of season 2 are some of the best television I've ever seen. I weep incessantly during the season 2, first 2 episodes of season 2, when they're explaining everybody's backstory and you're wondering, like, is Josh going to survive? I love those episodes, and I don't care if there are better episodes out there or more interesting answers to that question. It's an amazing hour and a half of television, or more than that. They're 45 minutes a pop, right? So that's 2 hours and 15 minutes of television. Those 3 episodes, unbelievable. It's like watching a movie. It's some of the best I've ever seen. So there's my answer. If I had to choose like a fun, like a silly one, it'd probably be the what's the name of it? It's like Jefferson's Wheel of Cheese episode or something like that, and it's referring to a time when I think it was Thomas Jefferson or Andrew Jackson, I think, would have a giant wheel of cheese at the White House and would invite anybody who had any kind of concern to come in and talk, and they let all these weirdos come in, people who want to build a highway for wolves, which features a young Ron Swanson, by the way, as an animal conservationist. Funny. And also, what's his name from Scrubs? Ted from Scrubs comes in and he's talking about like monitoring for UFOs. And it's just fun because they connect with like everybody and it sort of grounds them a little bit. It's a great episode. Anyway, that's a very long answer to a very simple question, but thank you. Thank you for asking it. So, those are my favorites. Okay, well, back to salad making, shall we? Oh! Now, let's see. Next up, we are making a iceberg wedge salad, and for that, we need to fry up some bacon. So let me get the bacon out of the fridge, and then in a moment, we're going to be heading over to camera 2, which we haven't done yet this episode. So for the uninitiated, prepare to have your mind blown. Because yeah, this is now, I really splurged with the bacon for this episode, and I got this Peter Luger bacon. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips of bacon in this entire, 12 ounce, so 3/4 of a pound pack. There's 5 strips. So this is some serious bacon. I kind of wish I was oven roasting it because I'd love for it to be really evenly cooked, but we have a second camera and we should be taking advantage of it. So I'm going to pop this open. And bacon has always been a confounding packaging to me. It's like there's always a gap like this. There's always the little gap that you think you can pull apart, and you just can't do it. It's like clearly not made for that, and you end up cutting it open. So that's what I'm gonna do. Here we go. There's some scissors that I can get dirty, and I'm just gonna whoop whoop. But yeah, this is for those who are familiar with steakhouses. Peter Luger is kind of the holy grail of New York steakhouses. It's an institution that was established in 1887, so that's a very old restaurant. It's not the oldest restaurant. The oldest restaurant in New York, that honor goes to Old Homestead Steakhouse, which I can't tell you the year that it was established, but I can tell you that they shove the fact that they are the oldest restaurant in New York down your throat. So I know intimately how old that is the oldest restaurant in New York. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna grab my nonstick pan. This is, I recommend this to all beginner cooks. This is a Tefal Professional 12-inch nonstick skillet. And not only is it like super slippery, ultra nonstick, like you can cook eggs in here when you first get it at least, before you get tiny little scratches and inclusions in it. You can cook eggs in here with no butter. Like it is so slippery. And it's got this great temperature indicator. Again, I'm not sponsored by Tefal. I'd love to be. Tefal, give me a call. It's got this great temperature indicator in the center here that all the little pattern in there will go away and it'll become a solid red circle when it's preheated and ready to cook. So it's great for learning, how your cookware works and how your stove works. And it's also going to be perfectly good for cooking bacon. These are going to fit right in there. And I generally start bacon cold in a cold frying pan because I really like to render out the fat as much as possible. God, those are some serious strips of bacon. So starting in a cold pan helps really warm up the fat and soften the fat before it starts to really cook. And that's what we're doing. And as you can see, this is going to fit perfectly. Now, I normally hate cooking bacon in a pan. Why? Because even the best pan in the world is going to apply uneven heat to the bacon. All this stuff up here is not going to get nearly the same treatment as the stuff in the center. So this might be too thick to do this. This works better with thinner bacon. But a trick that I've been doing is to grab the center and pinch it. It's not. I don't think it's going to work with this because this bacon's too thick. It's not going to work. But if you have thinner bacon, grab it like so, and pinch it, and make a little sort of, I don't know what you call it, a tent in the center. And you can see it's straightening out because this bacon is so thick and substantial. And this is going to just give the ends of the bacon a bit more leaven, a bit more stove leaven and heat, which is going to allow them to render out and cook a little bit more evenly if they stayed this way, which they're not because it's too thick. So, sorry. But for, I'd say 90% of bacon that you're going to get in a grocery store, sorry, I'm just washing my hands, that is going to work wonders. That little trick. Give it a try next time you cook bacon. Another great way is to cook it with a little bit of water. That helps warm it up and helps the fat render out before crisping it up. So I'm just gonna try to maintain this for as long as I can. We're gonna head over to camera B now. Here we go. There we go. Welcome. Sorry, I hope I didn't sneak that up on you, Jake. There we go. And I'm just going to light this guy up. A lot of people wonder why I light my stove with a torch. That's because this is a commercial stove, and it has a commercial pilot light, which is extremely hot. It's meant to be used in a restaurant, and it heats up the whole room. The pilot light from the oven alone heats up the room, but the pilot light for the burners heats it up even more. So I keep it off. I turned it off because it just, maybe I'll turn it on in the winter, but right now it's just way too much. So hopefully we can maintain these little hills. I don't know what to call these. Bacon folds, bacon mountains, mountain range, rolling hills of bacon, for as long as we can, because that's going to help the ends of the bacon render out and cook out a little bit. Because what I find when you cook bacon in a frying pan is you end up with burnt or crisp centers with soggy ends. And that's unacceptable. Man, these burgers are hot. These things are like jet engines, man, I swear. Let me grab my... Oh, I'm so happy my throat's fixed. I thought I was going to choke there. That was a lot. Oh, that's good. So, yeah, this is, again, for anybody who's just joining, this is my little trick for trying to get bacon to cook a little bit more evenly in the pan. This is applying more heat to the ends of the bacon that eventually this is going to flatten out as it heats up. This bacon, the muscle fibers are going to tense up, and these are going to flatten out naturally. And then the center is going to get a little bit more attention. Again, this works better with thinner bacon. This is super thick bacon, so it's not being very cooperative. But it's a great trick to get your bacon a little bit more evenly cooked. My favorite way to make bacon is in the oven. I should be doing it right now, but we wanted to show off camera B, so here we are. But normally I like to crank the oven up to about 400, 425. Put the strips in there for 20 to 25 minutes until they are cooked to your preferred doneness, and they're just perfection. They're just crisp and even throughout. So start baking your bacon. That is the way to do it, man. This is going to take a little while, and I'd love to read your comments, so I'm going to head back over to camera 1. But we'll come back here once things are happening. I can hear it happening now. I'm going to put my head over here because later on it's going to be spattering in my face. I'm not going to be able to do this. Let's get a little ASMR in there. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but oh well. So again, I'm going to try to maintain these. This bacon, like I've been saying, is too thick to stay up that way for long, but we'll come back in a minute. You'll see that it's going to have flattened out. Let's go back over to camera 1. And here we are. Thank you, Jake, for being both my Roz and switching the cameras for us. I'm going to kill off the last of this Basil Hayden's. Why not? Oh, my manager's texting me. I wonder what he's talking about. Maybe he's watching the stream. But oh, the flight's okay. Okay, we're heading to Chicago. Anybody who's watching who happens to have tickets for the Chicago Food and Wine Festival, I will be there doing a demo. I can't tell you exactly what time. I think it was at in the early afternoon on Saturday. But you can see it on the schedule. I'm doing a demo in cooperation with the Venetian Hotel, doing a cocktail demonstration, doing some cocktails of the movies with their head mixologist, and should be a good time. But if you are in Chicago, if you have tickets to the Chicago Food and Wine Festival, come check me out on Saturday. Come say hi. I would love to see you. I'd love to hang out and learn a little bit more about your fair city, because I've spent some time in Chicago, but not enough, because I don't have the deep, resounding appreciation for Chicago that I should, because I just have not been there enough. One of our dear friends from high school lives there. He just got his first house. He has a lovely baby and family growing there. It's really nice, and he loves Chicago, so I'm growing to it. We were going to embarrass him and call him and have him be our first call-in on the show. That is a feature that we're hoping to incorporate in future episodes. We want to try to have a call-in element to this show where maybe different super chatters, or maybe people who are different levels of what's called sponsors for YouTube's new sponsor program can get access to a special Google Hangout number that you can call in, Fraser style, and we can chat food live on the internet. But that will be a feature that we will incorporate as soon as we can figure out the logistics, because it's hard. It is decidedly hard. Man, that bacon is smelling good. That is going to make your way in a minute, Jake. That's going to be a nice smell for you. We got Kylie Carter, $20. Thank you so much. That's very, very generous. Absolutely love your channel and your content. Can't wait to see what other recipes and projects you have coming up. I'm always waiting for you to upload new content. Such an amazing person. That's so nice. Thank you so much, Kylie. That's really, really sweet. And thank you for both your generosity and the kind words. I really appreciate them both. And I'm seeing, I'm trying to follow the comments as much as I can. Thank you guys so much for your kind words, your kind comments. Really appreciate it. Yeah, expect more new and different content coming in the near future. I don't want to give too much away, but we are working on a new show, and like I said, I don't want to give too much away, so I'm not going to say too much about it, but I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It's going to give you a little bit more insight into the day-to-day, behind the scenes of making the show and my life. And then we got Olivier Saraya. That's a very hard to pronounce last name. Hey man, me again. Love the show. Happy you're back in the kitchen. Favorite cuisine, like from what country? Also, hashtag Babish on Hot Ones. I agree with that hashtag. I would love to go on Hot Ones. Sean Evans is my boy. I haven't seen him in a little bit. I'd love to see him again. And he's doing so great. I'm so happy for him. His show's obviously completely blown up, and it's so cool that he's become sort of part of the sort of mainstream consciousness as far as entertainment and interview shows go. It's so cool that he's blown up in that way. He's really taking YouTube to another level. So very grateful to Sean and everything he's doing, and I'd love to go on his show. He has YouTubers on there every once in a while. And I think once I hit 4 million subscribers, they'll have me on there. They really have the big dogs on there. They have MKPhD, they have Casey Neistat, and you know, I'm hoping I'll be next. Hashtag Babish on Hot Ones, I agree. Favorite cuisine from like what country? It's gotta be French. I'm sorry if that's snooty, but like all my favorite dishes like boeuf bourguignon and côte de boeuf, even though that's just a steak, and you know, a duck confit, and you know, just all these things. They're all French, and you know, it is the origin of great food, arguably. So it's very hard for me to not say French. So I think I gotta say French. This bacon is actually staying quite erect. Let's go back over to camera B so I can show you. This bacon has stood the test of time, which I'm very surprised about. I need tongs, and I need non-metal ones. Here we go. Because again, folks, if this isn't obvious to you already, just newsflash, no metal on non-stick. None, ever. Not even if you think you know what you're doing, because you're gonna scratch it up. So yeah, these are still standing pretty tall. And we're starting to get a little bit of color on these, so I'm cool with them lying flat now, because we do want the center to cook, and the ends have had a nice head start. And what I might also do when I flip these, mustn't let them curl like that. That's a problem. There we go. There we go. When I flip these, which I will inevitably do, obviously, when I flip them, I might take the center bacon, put it out towards the edge, and vice versa, so everybody's getting nice even heat. Because I want this, you know, uniformly crisp and you know, properly cooked. I don't know how you guys like your bacon, but I like mine pretty crisp. You know, a little bit of toothsomeness, especially in the fat. You know, a little bit of chew, but mostly crisp. And that is what we're going for here, and that is what we will hopefully achieve. Also, you know, see, we're getting some nice color in there. It's looking good, but it's uneven. Bacon is such a wily bastard. I'm turning the heat way low, because something that will always surprise you is when you cook bacon and you flip it, it explodes. That fresh fat hitting all the hot rendered fat. It just starts sizzling like crazy. Like, watch, when I flip this, it's gonna blow your mind. I'm kidding, it's not gonna blow your mind. It's not spitting right now, so I'm gonna try to get a little close and give you a little ASMR from my mic here. Here we go. I hope you heard that. I just put my neck and face at peril for the sake of your ear enjoyment, your ear pleasure. We're getting some nice color on this. And there's no rules with bacon. Like, see, I'm flipping it now and listen to it just take off. See, it's getting angry. It's like, why'd you do that? I was happy. There's no rules with bacon like there is with steaks. Personally, I think you can flip steaks and burgers as much as you want. There's those dumb, you know, only flip it once rules, and I think those are nonsense. And with bacon especially, you can flip it as much as you want. Like, the only desired end result with bacon is cook it the way that you like, get all the fat rendered, and cook it to your desired level of crispness. That's the only end game. And you can flip it as much as you like to achieve that. This is gonna keep going for a little while. I'm gonna flip it a few more times, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of time on this side. So let's head back over to camera A, or camera 1, whatever you wanna call it. And we're back, and now I can see your your comments again. Thank you guys so much again for your generosity. Thank you for hanging out. I'm seeing some people say bye-bye. Thank you. Okay, Monica is talking here. Monica, $5. Thank you so much. My boyfriend and I love your channel. Has brought us closer because he now understands my cooking terminology. I'm the cook, and why I do what I do. That's really, really nice. That's so sweet. Cooking definitely can, be something that strengthens a relationship. It can be something that weakens it too. I know that sometimes people can get pretty possessive in the kitchen, and you can, think that your way is the right way or whatever. But ideally, you got what Monica's got, which is learn from each other, grow together as cooks, and the family that cooks together stays together is what I've always said, and trademark 2018 Babish. We have a $20 super chat from Dominic Tribus. Thank you so much, Dominic. It's very, very kind. You're part of my holy trinity of food channels. I'm not going to look at what they are. I swear I didn't look. I'm going to guess what they are. Holy trinity of food channels. Me, Chef John over at Food Wishes. Who's number 3? Brad Leone. Oh my God, I was so wrong. You suck at cooking on hot ones, which those are, if I had known what kind of cooking you like, I might have guessed those. If you like more of the comedic side and more of the personality side. I mean, except for Brad is an amazing personality. And so is Chef John, what am I saying? But point is, great picks. Dominic Tribus, thank you for making me part of that said Holy Trinity. That is a great Holy Trinity to be part of. I'm very proud to be part of that organization. I'm just starting to cook for myself, and after living off packaged stuff for years, and you really inspired me to care. That's really lovely to hear. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you for caring. Thank you for trying new things, and keep trying, keep pushing. It's going to constantly reward you. And thank you for your generosity. Jeremy Womack, $5. I love these streams. I always thought I was so slow because of YouTube magic, but it turns out cooking takes time. You're absolutely right. We have been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes, and we've only barely made one salad. Granted, it's because I'm talking with you guys, and because I was choking to death, about half an hour ago. But cooking does take time, and I try to show my mistakes on the show. I try to show the reality of the cooking, because I think shows on, traditional cooking shows, stand and stir shows on television, make you kind of feel bad about yourself, because it's these beautiful people making beautiful food perfectly on seemingly their first try in this gorgeous home with a beautiful family and God knows what else. And they kind of make you feel bad about yourself, because you think like, wow, why can't I do that? And it's nice to watch in some cases, but I do try to show my mistakes and show that, I flub up all the time. And I love the live streams now because, yeah, we're showing this takes time. I'm making salads right now, and it's taken almost 2 hours to make two salads. Granted, it would be faster if I was just making salad, but yeah, don't beat yourself up for taking your time, for doing things right, doing things the right way, not the easy way, and enjoy cooking. Don't let it stress you out. Have a glass of wine if you're of age and are able to enjoy such a thing. Just loosen up and enjoy yourself, and also don't try to challenge yourself too much. Obviously, challenge yourself always. Try to push onward and upward. But 10 years ago, when I was a garbage cook, when I was so bad, I was still trying to make like the most beautiful, incredible dishes for dinner parties, and I ended up freaking out and having a terrible time, and the food being bad, because I was just so preoccupied with trying to innovate and trying to make things that people had never had before. But recently, for my July 4th party that I co-hosted here with Sawyer, I made burgers with pimento cheese on them, double smashed burgers with pimento cheese melted over top, and these hot dogs with fried pastrami and sauerkraut. Those like Reuben hot dogs. And yeah, it was simple, but what do you want on July 4th? You want burgers and dogs. And I decided to put my own little spin on it and make something that wasn't just plain burgers and dogs, but it was a barely an effort add. It was just a matter of using pimento cheese instead of American and topping the dogs with some extra stuff. And I had appetizers that I had made beforehand that I knew were going to keep for a couple hours, so I could put them out there. A nice cheese and meat platter, like, you know. And tell me that wasn't a good time, Jake. I'm going over to camera B, by the way.
Oh, it killed. It was the best. You going over to camera B? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, sorry. Here I am. I should have warned you, and I shouldn't have moved so fast. But so this bacon is cooking very slowly. I like to cook my bacon slowly, and you know, see, the end piece is getting a lot more attention heat-wise than the other pieces. So I'm gonna scoot it this way a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with cooking bacon slowly. I tell you this: the only way you're gonna overcook bacon is by burning it. If you cook it low and slow like this, you're gonna cook it to your perfect desired consistency. And you're gonna do it nice and evenly, and just like, you're not gonna burn it. You're not gonna make it too crisp. Take your time, like I was saying before with this gentleman, Jeremy Womack. Jeremy Womack. Like I was saying with Jeremy, you know, cooking takes time, and it's okay. Set aside enough time for yourself to make sure that you can make everything the way you want to make it. And if I was rushing through making this bacon, I could burn it. I could overcook it, make it too crisp. I'm going back over to camera 1. Here we go. And yeah, so, you know, take your time and enjoy yourself. We got some more generous folk here. Joe Robinson, £5. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. You, Chef John, and Brad are definitely the holy trinity of YouTube cooking. I'm very happy to be part of either of those trinities because they're both fabulous. I've been lucky enough to meet and or at least speak with everybody on that list. I've spoken with I won't say his name because obviously trying to keep that a secret over at You Suck at Cooking. I hang out with Brad on the regular. We got drinks this week, Brad and Vinny and I, and Sawyer. And I've talked with Chef John, and I've hung out with Sean Evans a number of times. They're the coolest people, and I'm really happy to be associated with them. I'm very happy that you guys lump me in the same category with them because they're amazing. The Great White Moose, $4.99. Thank you so much for your generosity. 10 out of 10. Love your show. I have no talent with cooking and better with baking, but your videos make my day, and yeah, you're awesome. Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. And if you're good at baking, then you're better than me, because baking is hard. Baking is science, and it takes precision and accuracy, because those are two different things. Precision and accuracy, and it takes attention to detail, and it takes patience, and I have very little of all those things. So hats off for being a better baker than me, because that's just as, if not more impressive, to be a great baker. Matt Bartholomew. I'm making homemade eggplant tortellini tomorrow. I was thinking of doing it aglio olio style. Thoughts? Any better sauce ideas? I think that would be great. I mean, garlic and lemon and eggplant, that works beautifully. But eggplant is also known for playing really well with tomato. You could go for some like caponata flavors, which are eggplant, garlic, tomato, onion. What else is in caponata? I think that's it. It's like an Italian ratatouille, and you could go for those kinds of flavors. I'm sure with eggplant, any kind of cheese or like cream sauce would be more than welcome. Like a cacio e pepe eggplant would probably be great. But aglio olio would be great too. I'm saying, any one of those would work, but I think that would work very, very well. Let's see, Dominic Tribus. Oh, we already talked to you, Dominic. Thank you again. Matthew Lauren, thank you so much for your generosity. I don't see a question, but thank you for your very generous gift to the channel. Really appreciate it. Thank all of you guys for coming and hanging out, and for talking, and for let me know who's cooking along. Tell me who's cooking along at home. I'd love to know that there are other people out there making some salads with me. Odd Vlogs, hello again. Thank you again for your continued generosity. Have you ever had corn chip salad? Bacon, boiled eggs, corn chips, and magical dressing mixed with crisp lettuce. It's heavenly, not healthy though. I agree, that does not sound healthy. That does sound very, very good. I have had salad with corn chips in it. I guess it was like a a Mexican salad of some kind, or something from one of those bullshit chains. But you know what I'm going to be making soon. When I can't wait for this. I've been dying to make a King of the Hill episode, and they make a very explicit point of making Frito pie with Wolf brand chili. So in my mind, that's kind of like a Frito salad, except it's more like a Frito pie, I guess. Meat pie. It's a Frito pot pie. I don't know. But point is, anybody who doesn't know that about me, let's say it loud and proud. I'm a huge King of the Hill fan. I think it's a vastly underappreciated show that is way more subversive than it lets on, that most people realize. Sawyer and I are such big fans that we've built a Plex server, a private Plex server for us to enjoy the King of the Hill episodes that we've purchased legally to view at our discretion. Oh, I hear a siren. So we got a siren going by, folks. This is New York City. I live next to a fire department, so it's going to happen. Let's go back to camera 2. I think this bacon's ready to give it another flip. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at this bacon. Oh, the color is so nice and even. And I really attribute that to the little trick that we did earlier, where we pinch the center of the bacon and let the ends cook first. Because otherwise you end up with unevenly cooked bacon that's crisp or burnt in the center, and soft and unrendered on the edges, and that's no fun. But now everything's nice and even, and everything's immersed in the fat. So it's all cooking nice and evenly. And I'm just going to give it a little bit more on that side. Once you get to this point where it's practically deep frying, both sides are essentially cooking. Oh, it smells good. I don't know if you can smell it in there yet, dude, but this is Peter Luger bacon. I'm not messing around here. Still got a little crouton in my throat, folks. I apologize. I can't believe that we've been going this long with salads. Like, it must just be good conversation with you all. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us and coming and hanging out. Salads can be fun. Salads can be more than just lettuce and dressing and something that you put on the side when you feel like you shouldn't eat potatoes because you're trying to be low carb or whatever. You can have some fun with salads. You can make them really a centerpiece. I'm going back over to camera 1 to check out what people are saying, because we got Abdullah, 5 pounds. Thank you so much. Hey Babish, JK, Andrew. Love your show. And also, did you see the videos where the Italian chefs react to your pasta videos? I did. And what those Italian chefs seem to have overlooked is that I'm doing the recipes from the show. These are not my recipes. I'm recreating what was done on the show. And, like they threw some shade at my pasta aglio olio. I did that exactly the way that it's done in the movie. And also, guys, I'm sorry if that's not the traditional way that things are done. I'm sorry if garlic is not traditionally in what's called pasta carbonara. I'm sorry if I can't remember what I did wrong with pasta aglio olio, but I can tell you that all those dishes were delicious. And I don't care if garlic is not traditional in carbonara. It's awesome. I don't know why you wouldn't put it in there. I'm sorry that your great grandmother didn't do that, but I do it. So anyway, the point is, those are fun videos, and I appreciate learning a little bit more about how these things are traditionally made. But they got to realize that I'm imitating what I see on TV. But thank you very much, Abdullah, for your generous kindness. Matthew Lauren, thank you for $5 more. Forgot to put a question. Sorry you had to give $5 more to ask a question. You made me pursue cooking, and it's great. Your videos are awesome. It's still not a question, but thank you so much for your generosity, and thank you for the kind words. That's really, really kind. And I'm very happy to hear that. I'm always really happy to hear that I could have any role in somebody enjoying or trying cooking. Josh Thevenen, $5. Thank you so much. Hey Andrew, love all your work. One of my favorite channels. Would you consider doing a microwave wings episode from regular show? All the best. I don't remember microwave wings. I remember if you're referring to the pizza pocket that they microwave while falling from a plane when they're skydiving with the pizza pockets. And that's something I've been considering and something I'd like to try, but no skydiving company in their right mind will let me do it. EMAC 059, $5. Thank you so much. Hey Babs, love to see a Skyrim episode. Can you get a pic of old Vincenzo for us? Or does he not show up on film? I wouldn't want to blow up his spot that way, but I can tell you that he's on Instagram and he shows his face very readily on there. So search for Vincent. I won't say his last name, but go to Brad's Instagram. He's in a few of those pictures, and you'll see him. He used to have a dope mustache that he recently shaved off because he's got a girlfriend. Vinny's like the coolest. Like Brad's the coolest, Vinny's the coolest. Together, they are just like the coolest. I'm gonna head back over to camera 2 because I think this bacon is nearing completion. Oh yeah, this is exactly where I should like it to be. It's going to be crisp, but it's still going to have that toothsome, meaty bite. It's the perfect color. It's evenly cooked. There's no like part that's more done than the other. I think it's ready to come off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a plate, which I'm going to line with paper towels. There we go. All right, I'm gonna kill the heat, and I'm gonna grab these suckers. Oh yeah, I mean, look at that, come on. Look at it, it's amazing. I got these coming off here. Looking good. See, they're all evenly cooked, there's no burn parts. I'm sorry to like harp on that, but you know, cooking bacon in a pan is perilous. Like you're going to experience technical difficulties like that unless you employ a couple little tricks. So if you haven't tried that trick, pinching the bacon in the center to create a little sort of mound in the center, give it a shot because it's a game changer. I swear to God. And this bacon's perfect. Always take it off a little earlier than you want to, because like. This feels very flexible right now. It's going to firm up and become crisp as hell in a second. So there we go. Bacon. We are leaving camera 2, going back to camera 1. It's probably going to be the last time that we're going over to camera 2. I'll warn you if we go back, but there we go. Some lovely, perfectly cooked bacon. I'm going to set over here. Going to let that cool off because we don't need hot bacon on a salad. You know, it's fine. We can just not do that. Let's see. I'm going to spray this down with some vinegar because I did open the bacon right here, and I'm about to, you know, cut up fresh produce, and I don't want to take any risks. So, for cleaning a wood, cleaning a wood prep surface of any kind, a wood cutting board, wood table like this, undiluted vinegar. If you want to really, really sterilize it, do undiluted vinegar followed by hydrogen peroxide or ethyl rubbing alcohol. I think it's hydrogen peroxide. Point is, it's going to sterilize the hell out of it, don't worry. But that's good to go now. So I'm going to get the Iceberg lettuce out of the fridge. And this is my favorite brand because it shares my name, Andy Boy. And I just did a cool little toss. I'm very proud of that. So I'm just going to open this up. The cool thing about iceberg lettuce is, and if I'm wrong, somebody refute me, but I don't think you need to wash it because it's essentially it's kind of like a Brussels sprout in that it's got all of these protective layers, and if we just peel off a layer or two, we're essentially exposing lettuce that's never seen the light of day, much less dirt or pesticides. So I'm just going to peel off 2 layers, and that's going to be enough. I think that's just how I feel. It's a little wasteful, yes. This is, you know, obviously that's not great, but you know, we're going to be using most of the buffalo here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this guy into wedges. Like, I'm going to lose this root too. We got this nasty kind of hard root in the bottom. We're going to lose that. It is kind of holding the room together right now, so we got to be careful, otherwise our wedges are going to fall apart now that we've lost the root. But I'm just cutting these guys into wedges, like so. And that'll do it. Now we need to make some buttermilk blue cheese dressing. So we got our lettuce, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these big plates, same kind that I used before. One that's big enough to showcase all 4 beautiful pieces of lettuce. And this guy's a little uneven. That's okay. You gotta love it for what it is, which is a unique and beautiful snowflake of lettuce. I got some red stuff on here. The red stuff doesn't taste bad. It can be a little bitter, but it doesn't taste that bad, but it's just not pretty, and you generally don't want to have any red lettuce on there. That just means that it's been oxidized and it's not as pleasant to consume. So to make buttermilk ranch dressing, blue cheese dressing, sorry, what we're going to do is grab our ingredients. So let's do the mise en place again. We've got our bacon right back here. Let's do the mise en place right now. We did it for the last one. We might as well do it for this one. Oh no, there's a beard hair in my whiskey. Shoot. Let me retrieve this with a little bit of bacon in my whiskey. Never hurt anybody. There we go. I wonder what people's reaction to that is going to be. All right, so we got the bacon. We need buttermilk. So I'm gonna grab some buttermilk. We need sour cream, which I have right here. So buttermilk, sour cream. These are the sort of basic vehicles for the. I'm not sponsored by Organic Valley. I just happen to have both. This is what Amazon Prime Now delivered. We need some good blue cheese, which I have somewhere in here. Here we go. This is actually a Roquefort, which it's a little bit fancier than blue cheese, but it's really good. So I think blue cheese dressing is a food stuff that rewards good quality ingredients. Using real buttermilk, using good quality blue cheese, or in this case Roquefort. We got a label stuck on there. That's weird. A little bit of foil. Not cool. It's really moldy. Blue cheese freaks me out. That's just mold. If you look at it, it's just straight up mold. And it's crazy to me that you eat that like it's no big deal. But hey, cheese is a form of mold, I believe. I don't know. That might not be true. All right. So mayo. We also need mayo for the dressing. I'll grab some mayo. All I have left is this squeeze bottle here. Still good. Good until March of 19. Give that a little shaky shake. All right, we got our mayo, white wine vinegar. So this guy's coming back to the party for a minute. Blue cheese, iceberg lettuce, and chives. Chives I will get. I need to go grab them from my alien garden. But we have pretty much. Oh, I'll go grab them now. Be right back. You don't even have to put up the thing. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just walking over here. Sorry to leave camera, folks. I'm sorry to leave you high and dry, but I'm just grabbing some chives, which I'm very happy and proud to say I just harvested from my my own garden. Which, granted, I can't take much credit for the garden because it really does the whole job for me. I do not have a green thumb, and it really does the green thumbing for me. So there we go. This is this plus the lettuce. This is all the elements that we need for making our iceberg wedge salad. So I'm going to scoot this back over here. And let's make the dressing, and then we will dress the lettuce. And then I think after that, we might call it a night. Like, Caesar salad is a little boring, and I don't really care that much about it, and neither do you guys probably. And I don't want to bore. So, and also I'm a little tired, and we've been making salads for 2 hours now. So I'm gonna grab a little medium bowl here. Probably just a fork for mixing. Don't really need a whisk because these things are so thick. We don't need to make an emulsion or anything like that. Put these guys over the side. These are for garnish. You could put them in the dressing if you wanted, but like, I don't know. So we're gonna do, let's see, we're gonna do like 2 tablespoons of sour cream. So I'm just eyeballing this. You know, that's about a tablespoon and a half. Yeah, I call that 2 tablespoons of sour cream right there. We need a fork, probably just use the spoon to mix with. And then blue cheese dressing should be thick, but not like, should be like pourable almost. So we're gonna add maybe 2 tablespoons of buttermilk there. Gotta use the buttermilk. You're getting a lot of tang and funk from the buttermilk. And then probably an equal part mayo to sour cream. How much mayo did I say on the right? Yeah, 1/4 cup mayo. So maybe a little bit more mayo actually than sour cream. There we go. And of course the titular ingredient, which I'm going to chop up a little bit actually, just because it's very messy and I don't feel like making a huge mess in my hands. That's gonna happen anyway, but whatever. Well, I'm just gonna crumble it in there. Okay, I'm just making a mess in my hands, I don't care. And then we can adjust, we can adjust for consistency. If this is too thick, we add more buttermilk. If it's too thin, we add more, probably sour cream, I guess, or mayo, really. And I would go for like that's probably too much cheese. I mean, that sentence, those combination of words don't really make sense. No such thing as too much cheese, but probably want to go for like about 3-4 ounces for this amount of sour cream and mayo. But I mean, it's pretty hard to mess this up. If you got all these elements in place, I'm just chopping up the blue cheese a bit more. And I feel like there's too much cheese in here, and the consistency is good. So I think I went a little too light on the mayo. So I'm gonna add some more of that. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. And maybe a little bit more buttermilk just so we don't lose the consistency. Just because the cheese ratio is a little bit too high here. There we go. That is some buttermilk dressing right there. Cheese chunks are still a little bit too big. We don't want, blue cheese is so freaking funky. It's so powerful flavor that like you don't want to catch a lump of it this big. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't. I don't like it that much. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it to the point where it's all I taste. For instance, I hate blue cheese on burgers. I do. You can yell at me all you want if you're a fan, but like for instance the the Minetta Tavern burger. I don't deny that that's probably a great burger for most people, but I don't like it because they put Roquefort on it, and it just overpowers the meat. It's too much, and even with bacon and tomatoes and God knows what else. That's the thing I left out of the mise en place. But we do have more tomatoes. Where'd they go? Here they are. But we want some tomatoes for garnish on this salad, so I'll chop those up. We got ourselves some nice chunky blue cheese dressing here. I would be very proud to dip some wings in this, or to pour it over my iceberg wedge salad, which I'm about to do. So put this over, and I'm just gonna rinse off this knife super quick because it's covered in cheese. Give me a moment. Just stepping over here. Any questions I'm missing out on, Jake?
Well, I think you have an opportunity to talk about disposing of / utilizing bacon fat. I know that's a topic you enjoy.
Oh, you know that I love that topic. You sly little thing. I am a big proponent, obviously, of reserving and using rendered bacon fat. And let me show you my process now. What you need is a large heat-proof container, like so, and then a fine mesh sieve, which I'm retrieving, like so. And what I'm going to do, this is still very hot, but ramekins are heat-proof, so I'm able to just sort of, uh-oh, I'm losing some. That's okay. No, oh no, I just lost a drop. No big deal. And then, you know, you let this cool off. You put it in your fridge. This lasts forever. I mean, like, I can't tell you exactly how long, but once you put it in the fridge, once it cools off, it's going to solidify, and you're just going to be able to scoop out a hunk and fry your eggs in it, or toast up some bread with it, or anything you need a big punch of bacony flavor. Add that, and you'll as my man what's it called, You Suck at Cooking says, prepare for crotch explosion, because it's really a game changer if you're trying to up your flavors, if you're trying to, you know, emulate restaurant flavors. They utilize bacon fat, they utilize duck fat, they utilize butter in every imaginable application. And, you know, obviously it's not the healthiest way to eat all the time, but if you're trying to impress, if you're trying to make a fancy dinner, add fat wherever you can. I would fry a steak in bacon fat without batting an eye, in duck fat, and then I always finish it with butter. Not only will I baste with butter in the pan, once it's resting, you know, when you gotta let that steak rest for 10 minutes, I will top it with a giant pat of butter that I will let melt down and become one with the steak itself. And that's why shit tastes so good in restaurants. Like, that's the reason, is because they're really doing it up with fat. So reserve your bacon fat. You know what else I've been doing recently, and a lot of people do this, is butter. You know, again, I can't totally condone this, because I'm sure it's not 100% safe in the same way that I'm sure, you know, a medium rare steak is not 100% safe. But, you know, it used to be the tradition, in the same way they used to keep eggs at room temperature. They used to, my parents growing up, we always had butter in the, you know, butter dish at room temperature. And it's so great to have, you know, completely softened butter ready to go to spread on something, or to, you know, just mix into something when you don't want cold butter, when you want nice soft, ready to melt butter. Like, this stuff is itching to melt. It's dying to melt. And I keep it in this little thing. Just, you know, you can keep it in a butter dish or whatever, just so, you know, no pests or whatever can get to it, or just so it doesn't dry out, especially. And it's just so nice to have, you know, melted or very soft butter at the ready for whatever you want. And if I were making a steak, I'd take a big spoonful of that, and I would smear it all over and just let it melt from the residual heat of the steak. So you do that with cold butter, you're both cooling down your steak a little bit in an ancillary way, and you're also, you know, inhibiting, like, it's harder for the butter to melt from the residual heat of the steak. All right, so I got some halved cherry tomatoes here, and I'm going to toss this sour cream back in the fridge, and this mayo, and the buttermilk. And then what I'm going to do is chop up the bacon and plate up, because it's just about that time of day. I'm going to finally mince these scallions, because that's how I want the garnish. You can do it however you want. I don't like big things of scallions. Like, I think that it should be something that's very subtly incorporated into the dish, and chopping it very finely like this. You know, I got a boeuf bourguignon recently that had big old, like, straws of scallions on it, and it was so distracting in both a textural and visual sense, to have those big pieces of, I keep saying scallion, I'm sorry, it's chives. Scallions, do whatever you want with. I don't care about scallions, do whatever you want. That's not true. I do care about scallions. So I'm just mincing those up so they're gonna make a nice little garnish. I'm gonna wipe up this cheese before I cut up my bacon. There we go. Let's just get that moldy cheese off of there. There we go. And scoop these off to the side. Let's get some bacon going. And you remember how like flexible that bacon was when I took it off the pan? They were still flapping around when I lifted them up. Well, they have become brittle and crisp. So now I'm just going to stack them all together. Thusly, see, they're so brittle they can hold their own shape like that. And this is how I like, cook it however you like. But I'm gonna not talk while I'm cutting this because this is a lovely sound, and I'm gonna get nice and close so we can all hear it. A little ASMR for y'all. There we go. And we got our nice chopped, nice really thick, crisp bacon. And I bet that took twice as long as you're used to in cooking bacon. I bet you spend half that amount of time to cook yours. And that's fine. But cooking it more slowly is going to give you a more even doneness, and it's also going to be more forgiving. Less chance of you burning or overcooking or undercooking any part of your bacon. Let's see. Ryan Hutchins, thank you very much for your generosity. Friend told me a long time ago about your show. Love cooking for as long as I can remember and learn something new each episode. That's so nice. If you could only eat one sauce / dressing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Wow. Probably, only one sauce. I mean, is it cheating to say like Sunday gravy, to say like, classic Italian red sauce because it's loaded up with meatballs and veal and pork and is that cheating? Because I know it is a sauce, but it's also like a meal in and of itself. And it just has nice memories for me. My stepmother's family is Italian, and every Sunday they have Sunday gravy, Sunday sauce, and whole family gets together. They're all lovely people, and they just have a great time just eating and sharing, their culinary tradition with one another, and just taking some time out of a busy schedule. And there's an old Serious Eats article that talks about making a Friday or a Sunday tradition of just getting all your friends or your family together and making them sauce, because it's easy to make sauce. It takes time, but you can just do it in the background while you're doing whatever, or you can do it ahead of time. You can do it a few days ahead of time and then just heat it up day of. It'll be just as good, and it's just like a lovely tradition to make with your friends or your family, and it's a way to, cooking is about. It's definitely about caring for yourself, but it's also about caring for others and sharing. And now more than ever, that's a very important thing to do. And I hope you. I'm sorry, I'm getting all sappy here. I'm eating my bacon, but I hope you guys are cooking, not just for yourselves, but for people that you care about, because it's a lovely way to both express that you care for somebody and also just express part of yourself to them. So whether you have just met somebody that you care about and you want to impress them, or somebody you've known for a long time and you want to show them that you still care, just whip something up for them. It's a really nice way to spend a day. We got DMOTS. It's 20 SEK. What is that? Thank you for your generosity. I don't know what currency that is, but thank you. Would you try making Venezuelan arepas? Maybe that's a Venezuelan currency. love you, DMOT. And yeah, I would love to. I would love to make a arepas. Like, I had fabulous arepas once in Brooklyn, and I've been jealous of the recipe ever since. So I've been covetous, and I'd love to try to make it myself. I'm just gonna, before we plate this up, I'm just gonna make sure that my blue cheese is all nice and chopped up. I want it to be, just an element of the dressing. I don't want it to be the dressing. I know it's blue cheese dressing, but like, blue cheese is such an amazing thing that I think is put at the forefront of a dish far too often. I think that it is overpowering. And if I did too much blue cheese on the salad, you wouldn't taste the bacon, you wouldn't taste anything going on there. All you taste is blue cheese. And for some people, maybe that's what you like, but not me. You want your flavors to play together. You don't want them to, one to be screaming while the other one's, being bashful in the backup vocals. Like, you want them to sing together. I'm about to try this bacon whiskey. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was using bacon tongs to get a beard hair out of here. So let's see what bacon whiskey's like. And predictably, it's pretty good. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Before I gross you guys out too much, let's plate up our iceberg wedge salad. What do we got, Jake?
I've got that bowl ASMR is pretty hot. I'll tell you right now.
Dig it.
I have. It's wild. I have one general question that a lot of people want to know. Do you like Canadian food?
I do like Canadian food. Poutine and maple syrup. What else is there? What other Canadian food is there? Poutine, maple syrup. I got very sick in Canada once from Canadian food. That hasn't affected my love for it, if that's what you're wondering.
Yeah,
and it was my fault.
What was it that got you sick on that trip? I can't remember, but I do know where we were, and it couldn't possibly be that place's fault. That place was the best. Sugar Shack.
Sugar Shack, yes. It was the Sugar Shack, and it wasn't their fault. I think I just had way too much sugar, and I think I freaked out. So it was not Sugar Shack's fault. Anyway, sorry. We'll get back to that question in a second, because I'd love to hear. I don't know what Canadian food is, I guess. Like, I know Montreal has their own specific style of bagels. We have a place near me, actually, Black Seed Bagels, that does Montreal-style bagels. They're very good. I haven't been to Montreal to actually try them, but I would love to one day. And we're just dressing this salad up with a few cherry tomatoes here. I want them to be visible, but not too much. And then we're just going to bacon the hell out of this. Because that's why you get a wedge salad. I mean, you're not getting it for the health benefits. You're getting it for the bacon. So we want all this bacon. We could have had twice as much bacon, and I still would have loaded this up with every single crumb. So there's that, and let's garnish with some chives. That's just to add another little element of greenery. It's also to give it a nice, oniony taste. You're definitely going to get some flavor from chives. Just get all these here. Oh, they're being disagreeable. There we go. And let me wash my hands off because they're covered in bacon and all kinds of good stuff. And we could put these croutons on here, but yeah, let's put the croutons on here. I don't think I'm going to make the Caesar tonight. I think we'll just call it a night after this, and maybe make some tossed salad scrambled eggs. This is too much. The croutons are too much. But we're doing it anyway, because why not? We're live streaming. We've got 4,000 people here. We gotta make unreasonable decisions. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful plate of food. I'm not saying these are healthy, man. These might be salads, but these are full, calorie laden dishes, and you can definitely serve this as an appetizer. You could practically serve this for a meal. I mean, you got protein, you got roughage, you got some what's that stuff in tomatoes that's good for you? Lycopene, lysine, something. Um, so, you know, that, I mean, come on. that looks pretty, that looks pretty good. Like Iceberg is such a boring, lifeless, flavorless thing that you obviously have to load it up with a lot of strong flavors to ever derive any pleasure from it. But I'm gonna go ahead and have a bite of this now. Let me grab a fork and knife and see how I did on that dressing. Because, you know, like I was saying to you guys, I like an understated blue cheese dressing. I don't like it to reek of blue cheese. And wedge salads are kind of a mystery to me. They're not the most practical salad in the world, but they are a steakhouse favorite. And I can't argue with that. They're definitely good, but like, they don't make any sense. I feel like they're lazy, like just to chop up a wedge like that. And anyway. Sorry, so many mouth noises. The blue cheese is not too much. It's definitely there. It is at the forefront of the salad, but I can still taste the bacon. I can still taste the sort of, you know, iceberg lettuce has very little flavor, but it does have flavor. It's got kind of like an earthy vegetal flavor, and I'm still picking up on all that. Croutons are a positive addition. Yeah, they're a little much, but they're good. I can still taste the tomato, and all the dressing is flavored with blue cheese, not just the bits that have blue cheese in it. If you look at this, you probably can't see it. I'll try to go in close, but if you look at this, you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see that. The dressing is flecked with little. Maybe you can't see that, but the dressing is flecked with little green specks, and that's the mold from the cheese, and it just got incorporated in everything, and it's just worlds better than anything you're going to get out of a jar. Like, you know, I respect jarred salad dressing. You know, sometimes you got a long day at work, you just got to whip something up, but I mean, it's just so much better. It tastes fresh. It tastes bright. The buttermilk gives it, and the sour cream give it a real tang, and things just sound better when they have the word buttermilk in their name. Buttermilk dressing, buttermilk biscuits, buttermilk pancakes. Like, it's impressive, and it also makes a palpable, noticeable difference in the quality of your food. So, you know, anytime something calls for milk and you think that it could use a little tang, a little hit of funk, hit it with the buttermilk, because that's really going to make a difference. Okay, back to the comments, folks. I know that I made 3 salads in the episode, but Sawyer and I are traveling to Chicago tomorrow, and you know, I got to pack. And we've been streaming for 2.5 hours now, making salads. I never would have guessed that we could go that long. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm just, good night from Rochester, Sean Moon. Thank you. Buttermilk pickles. The glass filling with Babish heads is a bit disturbing. I'm glad that you noticed that they're Babish heads. I'm glad that you picked that out. Here, I'm gonna kneel down in front of this guy. There we go. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. This was a lot of fun. As always, I'm really looking forward to the next one, because the next one is gonna be ramen. So keep an eye out for that. Gonna be making ramen live. Obviously can't make every element live because we made tonkatsu, which takes 12 hours minimum. So we obviously can't do that. But, you know, I'll have that bubbling and ready to go. We're gonna make noodles, fresh ramen noodles, which is hard. So I'm a little bit nervous about doing that live. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna be, you know, I don't want to say less healthy because this is not very healthy, but we're gonna have some more fun with the food, and I'm really looking forward to it. I always have such a great time. Thank you so much to the super chatters. Thank you very much for your generosity. Thank you everyone for your generosity and for your support. Thank you so much for coming out and watching it. I hope you guys had a good time. Like, you know, we're trying to make a new kind of live stream here, something that has a little bit of production value and a little bit of fun. A little bit of whiskey. Here it is. A little bit of bacon whiskey. Can't go wrong. Thank you to Sawyer in the other room, the man with the plan, the guy who's making things happen behind the scenes. And
thank you, everybody. It's been great hanging out with you. Thank you for all your Western New York-based questions and otherwise. We'll be back very soon. And yeah, it's been great. Thanks a lot. I want to go eat all these salads now.
Let's eat these salads, man. We're gonna go back for Chicago, and thank you guys so much. I'm having so much fun live streaming on YouTube. Like, you guys are great. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. And keep an eye out for the next episode of Basics, which should be ramen, which it has been hotly anticipated. So I'm very excited to share it with you. And the next episode of Binging is going to be the Nako from Kim Possible. The Nako and Chimarito, I believe he called it, which is he said it's a cross between a chimichanga and a burrito, but a chimichanga is a deep fried burrito, so I just made a chimichanga. Whatever. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I can see we're all saying goodnight, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. And go make a salad and go have a little drinky poo with it. I know I am. Good night, guys.